Venezuelans are happy and celebrating, but Americans are mad. I find it so interesting how different their reaction is. And at least online, it seems like the majority of Americans are mad on the behalf of Venezuelans, but then Venezuelans are happy.
Americans are not upset on behalf of Venezuelans. Americans are upset on behalf of Americans because our government is dragging us into something that happened to us 20 years ago when we invaded Iraq. Americans have a very complicated relationship with America interfering and mingling with foreign nations because in our lifetime, nothing good has ever come from it. The rinse, wash, repeat cycle of America is to invade a nation, say it's to stabilize them, topple their government, instill a ruler that they deem is favorable to America, and then leave the country. And they usually leave taking money, assets, gold, or access to commodities or favorable contracts. I'm in the Dominican Republic right now, and as someone who's here and as someone who has an intimate relationship with Haiti, let's talk about the island of Hispaniola. The first time America invaded Hispaniola was 1913. They came to Haiti to stabilize. They then came to the Dominican Republic in 1914 to stabilize. Over the course of the next century, there were multiple governments backed by America, multiple administrations backed by America, multiple oustings and coup d'etats backed by America. I want to talk about two leaders in particular. I want to talk about Trujillo, a dictator in the Dominican Republic who caused irrevocable damage to Dominican culture, psyche, people. He killed babies. He killed black Dominicans. He thought they were Haitian. He was anti-Haitian. He is a monumental figure in Dominican's history, but he was backed by America. Then I want to talk about Aristide. And Aristide is a good example because it's an example of how America cherry picked a person that they liked, and then when that person fell out of line, they then supported a coup against him. They supported and gave money to people to destabilize the country once again so they could stay here and put in the leader that they favored. Like with all things, with the occupation of Haiti, the central bank got transferred to Citibank, and then Citibank transferred all of Haiti's gold reserves to New York and their coffers, which then helped Citibank grow exponentially. So once again, enter the nation, destabilize the nation, take control of the finances, resources. You got a good old American stabilization program. So when you ask why Americans are unhappy that this is occurring and Venezuelans are happy, is because we have to have the ability to hold nuance and the fact that two things can be true. It can be true that Maduro was a horrible leader and Venezuelans absolutely wanted him out of government, and it's a good thing he's out. But you can also say that America has never, ever been altruistic in its missions or goals abroad, and that nothing good will come from this. Just like nothing good came from Iraq or Iran or anywhere else in the world that America has been in. So I hope that answers your question.
Hi, my name is Paula, and I am Venezuelan, born and raised. I've lived in the United States for almost 10 years to the date, and I am an American citizen also, by the way. The main reason why I'm coming here today, I'm literally nobody, and if this reaches one person, my job here, that one person that didn't know what was happening in Venezuela, and now they do, my work here is done. I am outraged about the comments I've been seeing today. I made the mistake myself of going on social media and reading all the news outlets reporting on the news of the Venezuelan strikes, well, military strikes to remove Maduro, thank you. And everybody, a ton of Americans, and then from whatever you're from, but you've never been to Venezuela, you have no idea about the political situation in Venezuela, the history of Venezuela, and trying to be like our saviors. Like, I can't. Let me set some things straight. First of all, the regime has been going on since 1998 when Chavez was elected president. From there on, their country is the mess, in good words, that it is today. We have suffered a lot. The Senate was dissolved. The Constitution was changed. They bought the military, all the armed forces. Many people have been killed, kidnapped. You can go do the Google search yourself, or just ask, because clearly Google is not working for you people. Three things I want to get across today. One, Venezuelans are sad. No, we're not. This is literally the happiest day of our life. This is our second independence. We are still in shock, complete shock, about what finally happened. We have been wanting this. We have been praying for this. We have been literally anybody that we have been able to go to and ask, and nobody listened to us. So we are happy. Enjoy. And even if you're a Venezuelan in Venezuela or a Venezuelan outside of Venezuela, in any country that you are, if you left 10, 15 years ago, 5 days ago, or a week ago, we are all happy. So don't worry about us. We're happy. The United States only attacking Venezuela because of the oil. People, we do not control our oil. We haven't seen our oil. Russia, Iran, Cuba, China, whatever other countries, Central America and South America, we've been giving away our oil to all these countries. Like, we're not seeing that. Anyways, so, and we used to have trades and whatever other things with the United States before Chavez about our oil, and our country was working fine. So the way we don't care, don't worry about us. If the United States wants to take our oil, we will be happy to be giving away the oil to the United States if that means that our country is going to be safe and that us citizens, residents of whatever of Venezuela are going to be good, are going to be able to make money, are going to be able to retire, which none of those things are happening right now. And then number 3, if you're worried about what United States did to Venezuela and like what's going to happen now, nothing, literally, and I mean this, nothing can be worse than the hell we've lived up until now. So stop, and I mean this, stop trying to explain Venezuela to Venezuelans. Stop. If you want to know, reach out to someone from Venezuela, okay? Either that are living there or that left. So again, I am very upset. I am outraged. I spent a dumb amount of time today on social media reading all these comments, and that was my own mistake. And that's why I felt compelled to make this video, leave it open. I am open to answer any and all questions if you're genuinely wanting to know what's going on. Any comments about trying to explain to me what's happening or how I must feel today, like, you're out. I'm not kidding. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've been seeing videos of Venezuelans, especially the ones that don't live in America, the ones that live in Venezuela, and I see them rejoicing and happy, and they're asking why America's been in their business. Now that left me wondering, because the majority of them do not follow the history of American politics, so they really have no idea what is going on. I understand that their president might not be the very best, yeah, but I'm scared for what they are about to experience. Anyways, let's get into the videos and I'll be right back. I give credit to all the original creators of the videos I have used on my channel today. I do not take credit for any of them, but don't go away. I'll be right back.
I'm a Venezuelan woman whose family fled Venezuela when I was a young girl so that our family could have better opportunities because of everything that was starting to happen in the country when Chavez was president. The last 12 hours have been so mentally draining and brutal. I found out about everything going on at about 9:30 Hawaii Standard Time. I saw a repost on TikTok from another Venezuelan creator. So I go and I start looking through stuff as much as I can, trying to find what I can. Immediately my heart sunk into my stomach because I knew that the outcome of what was happening was about to be so much fucking worse than people anticipated. I need people to understand that 2 things can be true at once. 1, there are a lot of Venezuelan people who are very happy right now that Maduro is not there. They're stoked, whatever. Unfortunately, that happiness is only going to be temporary. Unfortunately, that happiness is being placed in the hands of a jester. 2, liberation at the hands of an imperialistic regime is not liberation at all. He has made it clear that he wants the US to have access to the oil. Venezuela sits on 300 billion barrels of oil, the largest oil reserves in the world. And this man and his administration have made it clear that they want their hands on it. If you think this has anything to do with narco trafficking, whatever, it doesn't. It doesn't. Venezuela makes up like 1% of the narco trafficking in the world, but has the biggest oil reserves. It breaks my heart to see Venezuelans praising him because they took Maduro out, but it is so hard to tell them otherwise right now because I know that their hearts are just happy that Maduro is not there. Maduro and Chavez are not good people, and I'm going to explain that in the next clips. Maduro destroyed the fucking economy. He destroyed people's lives. He started wars, like civil wars, with people that didn't agree with him. He rigged elections, okay? He continued to destroy the fucking middle class. He made groceries so damn expensive. People have no idea what it was actually like, so when people defend him and they're like, no, you're radicalized against Maduro, listen to an actual fucking Venezuelan. Listen to actual Venezuelan people when they tell you that that man fucking sucked. I'm asking you to have a little bit of empathy, even as hard as it is for me to fucking say this, for the people in Venezuela and for Venezuelans that right now may feel this sort of like temporary illusion of relief because Maduro is gone under the regime of Trump. But they have no idea how bad it's gonna get, and that's where my heart is fucking shattering into a million pieces. But for people defending Maduro, for people in the United States who think that they're being progressive thinkers by saying that this man was against colonization and against imperialistic whatever, okay, once again, two things can be true at once. That man could be against other nations coming in and having any sort of control over the country, and that man could be a damn dictator himself. That man was not our savior. That man was not our fucking liberator. That man was not our God. He is so highly hated, and the people that you see supporting him and being like, oh my gosh, whatever, you need to understand that this started back with Chavez. Chavez convinced the poorest of the poor people to support him because he did stuff for them. He did do good stuff for them. He made them think that there was hope, because if you have the support of the poor over there and in a lot of other countries, you're good. You don't need the support of the rich, because there's such an overwhelming amount of poverty that was created by who? Him. And over time, that poverty continued to grow and grow and grow. And by the time he died and his successor took his place, who granted is even worse than he was, okay, he had that backing, that support of all the people that supported Chavez, because he was giving them breadcrumbs. He was giving them golden handcuffs. And now Trump is giving golden handcuffs to the Venezuelan people by being like, I took your dictator away. When he's going to come in and completely destroy whatever is left of the country. My heart is absolutely fucking shattered. Nothing feels real. Seeing the discourse online from Americans thinking that they know what they're talking about when they have no idea what they're talking about is infuriating to me. Like, unless you've seen your own family members die of malnutrition, unless you've seen your own family members fucking starve, unless you've seen your family in the United States have to send boxes of supplies over there because of the fucking dictatorship that's going on, and because there was a limit on how much food you could buy, because inflation went over 1,000,000%, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. And on the flip side, if you're praising Trump because of what he's done, he broke international law, he illegally went into a different fucking country and kidnapped the president and his wife, there is no win here. There is no silver fucking lining. There is nothing good about this situation at all. Venezuela is going to be used as an example, and my people are going to have to suffer at the hands of a corrupt regime again.
Oh my God, Venezuelans are celebrating. It's only leftists and liberals that are upset that Maduro was captured. I would like to kindly jog everyone's memory, because I know how forgetful we can be when it comes to history. So the year is 2003 and the US invades Iraq. And Iraqis are celebrating because they hate Saddam Hussein. So they welcome US invasion. They are in the streets celebrating.
People were just pure exhilaration. At that point in time, you think this might just work. And I remember seeing a guy was carrying a huge couch on his back. And he turns and says, "Yay, America." You know,
The U.S. invades Iraq under the pretense that Saddam Hussein is harboring nuclear weapons, which, by the way, they never find. And between the years of 2003 to 2011, America kills over 1 million Iraqi people. The country becomes a failed state. And if you speak to Iraqis today, they will tell you how they have deep resentment towards the United States. The country that they once welcomed becomes the country that they deeply hate and resent, and rightfully so. Soon as the U.S. leaves Iraq, the country then goes into the hands of ISIS, the terrorist organization. You see, it's very easy to start a war. It's very easy to take out a dictator. It's very easy to bring down a regime. These are things that I will never argue that America is not good at. America is great at these things, but it's incredibly difficult to end a war. It's incredibly difficult to establish a new government that brings stability to a nation. To install a new government, to bring stability to a nation, you have to create infrastructure, roads, school, hospitals. That costs money. And America is not in the business of charity, okay? America spent $2.7 trillion in Iraq, U.S. taxpayer dollars. Where did that money go? Private military contractors. So when people are like, Venezuelans are celebrating, why can't you just be happy for them? My response isn't, oh, I must be wrong. My response is, I have seen this before. I don't just remember history. I lived through this history. And you can't say that we as Americans don't get to have an opinion on what happens in Venezuela when it's going to be our tax dollars that goes into creating violence and instability in Venezuela. Just like that $2.7 trillion that went to creating instability in Iraq was U.S. taxpayer dollars. The last thing I want to say is that despite being critical of many different governments, I do not ever call for regime change in Iran, China, Saudi Arabia, Cuba, etc. because I don't have to deal with the consequences of what that would look like. That would be the total collapse of a system. Do you understand what I mean? Industries would collapse, currency would collapse, instability would immediately take over. I don't know how people feel so comfortable talking about regime change. Even if you live in diaspora, you don't have the right to call for regime change. And I wish people would be more sensitive to that.
Hey, Venezuela, quick question, okay? Now, we took y'all's. So, our bad, right? Like, we're sorry, we ain't got nothing to do with that. But hey, what's fair is fair. So, now it's y'all's turn, okay? So come and get him. We will have him packed, shoes on, paperwork ready, no returns, no take backsies. Matter of fact, don't just take him. One up us. Take the whole damn administration. We'll be happy to meet at the designated pickup location. You know, the same one the U.S. uses when we decide we are allergic to international laws. Bring a van, maybe a bus, actually multiple buses. And come on and get him. We'll have his little duds packed up, ready to go. Because listen, if kidnapping other political leaders is the new foreign policy, then baby, y'all can take him and we don't need no return receipt. Okay, we're good over here. Go on and do what y'all got to do. One up us. What's fair is fair, baby. We ain't even looking. Go ahead. We didn't see nothing. We didn't hear nothing. We don't see nothing. Ain't got nothing to do with us. We're just saying, what's fair is fair. Do what y'all gotta do. Okay? And we'll just let us know where to meet. Where do we drop him off?
But Venezuelans are celebrating. Let's look at another group that was celebrating. In 2003, when the U.S. invaded Iraq, Iraqis celebrated and helped U.S. Marines take down statues of Saddam Hussein. And what's happened since? 2 trillion U.S. taxpayer dollars were spent on that war. Thousands of Americans and millions of Iraqis had their lives cut short. Because when the U.S. goes into these countries to do regime change, it's never to build democracy. It's never to make life better for anyone. It's always for the oil and the natural resources. There's only one group that's going to benefit from this, and that's Trump and his corporate buddies. Everybody else is going to be paying the bill.
Venezuelan civilians are stockpiling food and supplies because they understand, unlike a lot of Americans, that this isn't over yet, because they see the pro-government armed civilians in bulletproof vests patrolling their streets, turning their cities into fortresses. And the transition won't go as smoothly as Trump's trying to paint it, like he did when he said that the now president, Delcy Rodriguez, would do whatever the United States wanted and that they wouldn't put boots on the ground in Venezuela as long as she did. And then she came out on Venezuelan radio and TV and demanded the immediate release of Nicolas Maduro and his wife, said that he was the only legitimate leader of Venezuela, and said that they would never become the colony of another empire or become slaves, and told her public, who include those pro-government loyalists, to expect to defend their homeland against this armed aggression. Because while the United States will be expected to secure certain infrastructure in Venezuela, what about the security for the rest of the country that's plagued with gangs, paramilitary groups, transnational cartels, and guerrilla fighters, all of whom will be either fighting to maintain the status quo or gain more market share in the coming days?
To every Venezuelan cheering right now, you do not want to be controlled by the United States. They will drain you of all your resources and then leave you in a worse state than you are right now. We're also under a dictatorship, and now we are in charge of your country. United States citizens don't even want to be in this country anymore. We want a revolution from our own country. The only reason we've taken over your country is to steal all your oil and resources and leave you as impoverished as possible because we're an imperial empire. And that's what we do. Over and over and over again, we take over destabilized countries so we can exploit them. It's like being taken out of one pot of boiling water and being put into another one. And we're just gonna slowly keep turning up the heat. The United States does not give a shit about democracy or freeing the people of Venezuela. All the United States wants is oil. It's all the United States usually ever wants from any country. Because we're basically one giant oil corporation at this point. And now we just colonized you. I'm sorry. You are now under control of a fascist dictator going through the late stages of dementia.
The Venezuelans who are happy Maduro got captured and the army went into Venezuela, they all live in America, guys. We do this every time. Iranians, Cubans, etc., all celebrate when their home countries are getting bombed, destroyed. Name me the last time America invaded a country, bombed them, whatever, and then that country ended up doing better. Did Libya end up doing better? Did Iraq end up doing better? Did Afghanistan end up doing better? Right, that doesn't happen. The Venezuelans in Venezuela do not want that shit. Maduro armed his entire population, then walked amongst all of them, armed with zero security, and nothing happened to them. Could Trump even do that? Could any Western leader do that? Could Netanyahu do that? No. Right? Stop listening to people who have no stake in their home country's affairs. These Venezuelans don't care because they don't live there. And ask yourself, why is a government that was for the people, why did certain people leave that country? Same reason Cuban Americans left Cuba, right? Because the niggas that were getting kicked out of Cuba were the ones who owned its slave plantations, exploiting the population. Shitty people, the same people who fled China once Mao took power. These people were exploiters who are fucking over the civilian population. Ask these people why their family doesn't live in their home country.
If you're American, this is what you need to know about what just happened in Venezuela. First off, as I've said many times before, the important thing here is to listen to Venezuelans. And Venezuelans are overwhelmingly overjoyed that Maduro is gone. This is a positive. This is a good thing. The group chats have been active since 1 a.m. and everyone is celebrating. No one is mourning that Maduro is gone. No one is concerned that the U.S. invaded. Because frankly, this wasn't even an invasion. This was more of an extraction, okay? So from the Venezuelan perspective, this is good. Don't go talking about Venezuelan sovereignty, how he violated Venezuelan sovereignty. No, Maduro violated Venezuelan sovereignty by staying in power despite losing the elections. Remember, he was a violent dictator. Him gone is a good thing. You can be incredibly anti-Trump, as I am, and still celebrate that he is gone. Now, this does not mean that Venezuela is free, because the power structure still remains. Diosdado Cabello, Delcy Rodriguez, Jorge Rodriguez, Vladimir Padrino, they are still there. And while they're there, Venezuela can't be free. So we still need to see what's happening next. But overwhelmingly, this is a good thing. Now, from the U.S. perspective, right, we can debate whether or not this was legal. We can, debate whether or not we should even be involved. Once again, personally, I hate Trump and I hate his pattern of continuing to consolidate power in the executive branch and take these actions unilaterally. So I hate that, but I'm also overjoyed that Maduro is gone. Multiple things can be true at once, okay? So for now, focus on Venezuelans, focus on their experience, let them be joyful. Let them have a moment of optimism, please. Okay? Then we continue to talk about what's next. But for now, this is a good thing. Okay?
Did we all just wake up to a new war in 2026 on the third day? Are we really at war with Venezuela?
I watched the video of people outside jubilating and all sorts. And this quickly reminded me of Nigeria. I understand what the Nigerians are going through, especially the Christians in Nigerians, the whole terrorism and, the Islamic group killing a lot of Christians, and all of that. I sincerely do understand. And we got a situation where Trump gave the Islamic group a Christmas gift. On Christmas Day, Trump invaded Nigeria. And I'm not sure about the news around that, but from what I heard, that there was a Christmas gift to the Islamic group in Nigeria. Okay. But even though we know that there's a lot of chaos happening in Nigeria, I don't think Trump gives free gifts. I have a feeling there is something more to it. My opinion, I might be wrong. This is just my own opinion, And I feel if Nigeria isn't careful, same thing is going to happen to them. I believe that whatever is happening today is against the international law. And for Venezuelans that are very happy, I don't know. I don't know what to say because who am I to tell you what to do or what not to do? I'm just airing my opinion. In it all, I'm just an advocate for peace. Let peace reign in our lands. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming with me on my channel today. So if you're new on this channel, kindly subscribe to my channel. And as always, I give credit to all the original content creators' videos I have used for this session today. I do not take credit for anyone, and I'm grateful for you all for sticking with me till the end. God bless us all. Let peace reign. Thank you guys.